Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Nerd Herders. I'm Rich.
I'm Nick.
This is our 18th episode.
18.
We're legal.
Yep.
Ready to go.
Break out those cigs.
Yep. Ready to get out there.
Yep.
Still drinking. We still probably shouldn't be doing that, but
no, we're
here
not
we
old
are.
enough for that. But here we are. And what are we drinking this week?
We are drinking Erie Oktoberfest from the Erie Brewing Company in Pennsylvania. We figured it's January.
Yep.
So what better time to drink an Oktoberfest?
That's right. No better
So
time.
I guess this, we can play this in October again if we get bored and want to play some
or they could
reruns.
rewatch it.
Or you could rewatch in October. But yeah, cheers. I don't know. Not sure what to think about that.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes throughout the week.
Yeah.
Should also mention feeling a little bit under the weather. So
Yes,
throughout the week, we'll see how sick I get.
Stay away from me. I'm just gonna kind of
keep our
this
distance.
way. I just want a wall. Can I get a wall here? Just
I can put a wall there. Berlin Wall. Bridge of Spies.
Yeah.
Best Picture nominee. We'll be talking
Oh.
about the Oscars later on in the week, but not yet. Because today
What do you got for us
is
today?
the first day of the weekend, so that means news.
Yeah, top news.
Top news. So
Every week we switch off who picks the top news. So now it is Nick's turn to pick the top news. So Nick, what is the top news for the week?
well, there was some good stuff this week. So why don't we lead it off? We have some movie news.
Okay.
And we have some video game news. What do you want first?
Let's start off with the movie news.
All right. So we had some breaking news. People are probably well aware.
Okay.
By the time they're watching this, but I'm sure they want to know our opinion on it. Breaking news: Star Wars Episode 8, The Untitled Journey of Rey and Finn and Poe. Maybe that's what they'll go with. We don't know.
That whole title.
Has been pushed from May of 2017 to December 15th, 2017, which is, of course, sad because we have to wait longer. But overall, in my opinion, probably a good thing.
Probably.
The Force Awakens moved from May of 2015 to December.
Was it originally May?
It was originally May. JJ asked actually for a whole nother year, and Disney said, you have 6 months. And obviously we both love how that movie turned out. That time was good for it. And, there had been rumors in the past couple days leading up to this announcement that Rian Johnson needed to do some script rewrites. He wanted to take what worked from episode 7 and kind of flesh that out in 8. So he's going to have more time to do that. But I think really what it is I think Disney just looked at the money that Force Awakens made in December and probably said, why would we compete with all the summer blockbusters when we could come out
we have a guaranteed holiday movie. Big holiday movie every year.
Right. Now, the one interesting thing about this move is it is now slated to open exactly when Avatar 2 is slated to come out. So Avatar 2 has a decision to make. Will it move?
Yeah.
Or will they actually try and fight? My guess is they're going to move. And I think that for a couple of reasons. I think that Fox is going to be scared.
Yeah.
And I also think, I know that there is no... Disney does not make Avatar. But Disney does have Avatar coming into its theme park in the next couple of years. They have to have some sort of a say. There has to be some sort of a say.
Maybe.
Avatar is going to move.
You're betting on it?
All
right, we'll see.
What do you think?
Well,
they're not going to come out on the same day. It's not going to happen.
Unless Fox is so here, look at the box office right now. You have Star Wars fighting. It just overtook Avatar for the #1 movie in the U.S. And now it's fighting to try and beat Avatar worldwide. Whether it hits that or not, we have yet to see.
It probably won't.
Sure. So you have to wonder if Fox is bring it. Let's let's duke this out and let's fight. Because Avatar did make a shitload of money the first time around.
But part of the reason why it was able to do that is because it had no competition. It would have immense competition. I don't think so. They're going to duck.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's a lot less realistic to think that Avatar 2 could actually get done by then than it is Episode 8, which already has a screenplay that might be getting some rewrites.
That's true.
Already has a foundation.
It could be another 5 years before we get Avatar 2.
And, sure. I think we both said, like, I'm down for more James Cameron movies, but I'm not excited by Avatar 2.
I almost wish Disney hadn't done this movie for a number of reasons. One, I want my Star Wars sooner. I want my fix sooner. My concern with doing the rewrites is everything we have heard about Rian Johnson's script is how incredible it is. How great it is. This is, Abrams wishes he's going to direct this movie and blah, 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 blah. And then, now we're going to do these extra rewrites and try to change this and reincorporate that. And part of me is a little concerned because maybe, whether it's him wanting to do or Disney, like, hey, these characters that you may not have as much of in your movie are huge now. Make it work. That's
hard to say.
That's kind of my concern. Like, I'm not saying it's happening, but that's a concern.
The other thing is, and I'm sure he did deliver a great screenplay, but all those comments have been from J.J. Abrams, who's going to be an EP on the next movie.
Sure.
From John Boyega and Daisy Ridley, who are contractually obligated to say such things. We haven't heard that from anyone not associated with the movie.
True, but I also could say, oh yeah, it's a good script, or I'm excited about doing it. You don't have to come out and say, I wish I was directing this. I wish I had thought of this stuff. Like, it's
a good way to make people excited about.
Sure.
Like, oh man, it must be great. He wishes We'll see.
But we'll see. That's my concern.
I hope that it is for the best.
Yeah, I do too. And
I also heard an interesting. Eric Goldman from IGN tweeted out another thing that I hadn't thought about with the move is it was originally slated to open 6 months after Star Wars Rogue One.
Yeah.
Now we know, and you watching know, what Rogue One is.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to believe at this point, the general public doesn't know what Rogue One is, doesn't know Rogue One is coming, doesn't know Rogue One exists. And so he was saying if they were going to open within 6 months of each other, the marketing would have somehow conflicted, and it might have been confusing for people who don't understand that there's two separate movies and how it's all going to work.
We're now going to have two different stories going on.
And it might have also felt kind of like Star Wars overload for people who are definitely going to go see the movies, but not as excited.
A little more casual, like, Star Wars, I'm going to go see it.
It wouldn't have been like, oh wow, is there just going to be a million of these? They're not special anymore. So that could also play into it. Like, they kind of want Rogue One to have its own moment and not be overshadowed by that. Or people might have been like, if in just a few more months I can just see the continuation. I don't want to see the past. Like, I'm just going to wait. But now it's like, it's a whole year away. You only go to the movies once a year. Some people are like this. Some people literally only go a couple times a year.
For the couple big blockbusters they want to see.
So it could be just as much about that.
Yeah. And then I kind of wish, bringing it back to Avatar, that there wasn't this competition, because I would like to see how the market reacts to Avatar 2 without competition as it was when the first one came out. If people flock to see it, if anybody still cares. Like, I would be very curious to see how that would have played out.
It's definitely going to make money, but there's a 0% chance it replicates.
Sure. Maybe?
Nah, no way.
Well, we say this, but I'm still going to go see it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're still going to go see it. I'm sure everybody is still going to go see this.
Everybody
the question is going to be,
nerd.
Are people going to be, I have to go see this 5 more times?
What they really have to get is the people who would never go to a movie like that going to see it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if those people were so wowed that they're going to be like, I have to go see the further adventures of solely the Avatar.
But, people like, friends of mine, a lot of film friends and stuff, are all kind of like, yes, it's nice, but other than that, whatever. They don't really care about that. But people who don't usually go to the movies as often were absolutely just immersed in this and blown away.
Have they spent any time thinking about it since?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'd be curious to find that out going forward.
We'll see. It's going to be interesting. But my guess is, after Winter Soldier came out, they slotted Civil War to come out the exact same time as the exact same day that Batman v Superman had already, and everybody was like, Warner Brothers isn't going to move it. They have Batman and Superman. They're not going to be scared, and they moved it. They moved it from May 4th to March 25th.
That's true.
And Civil War is going to be big, but they still have Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman in the same movie. They didn't need
who knows who else,
and they were scared.
Yeah.
So I'd be surprised, but we'll see. So one other bit of Star Wars news.
Okay.
To continue the theme, Stan Lee, who I should remind everybody is like 94 now. He's old.
Yeah.
And also doesn't have much influence actually in terms of the future direction of Marvel cinema. Said that he thinks there is a definite possibility that Disney will do a Star Wars and Marvel crossover movie. He says he can see it happening.
I mean, sure.
Do you see that ever happen?
I guess I could see it happening, but I don't think it would happen. I mean, it would. I feel like it would have to get to the point where they have run so far out of idea, and they've worked. Disney has worked so hard, or I guess Marvel. I don't know when the acquisition, but the Marvel Studios has worked so hard to slowly, carefully lay this universe out in the cinematic universe and put this piece here and build it until it's become what it is. And I have a hard time believing, I mean, money talks, but I have a hard time believing they would take this and then go, no, we're just going to put Star Wars in there too. Like, this reminds me, this is the Parks and Rec episode of Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
Just, oh yeah, and then now you bring in the Marvel Universe, and then this is how this all ties in, and oh my god, and it's like...
Yeah. Never say never, because
Sure.
if there's ever a time when the Marvel movies stop doing
How do you revitalize
right.
that? You throw Star Wars in there.
Darth Vader fighting Wolverine. But I don't see it happening. But what I could see is Disney doing something like, alright, so Phineas and Ferb. They've made a Phineas and Ferb movie, direct to video. It's a cartoon that they do on Disney Channel. They've had a Phineas and Ferb meet the Marvel Universe, and they've had a Phineas and Ferb meet the Star Wars Universe. So I could see them doing something like that, like Phineas and Ferb meet the Marvel and Star Wars Universe.
Or some kind of like animated...
or like the Rebels meet the Avengers, or something. I don't think it would be that, but I could see them doing something along those lines, like direct-to-video animation, but live-action movie, I mean, not for years.
Yeah.
If ever.
I mean...
And I wouldn't want to see it.
And we've talked before about...
I really wouldn't. I don't think that would be cool.
The how painful it is and how difficult it is for them to take the Marvel films and bring in the like the Netflix Marvel characters. Well, then, how hard is it going to be to then get Lucasfilm and all that stuff on board, and Abrams and all that stuff, and just I don't see that happening.
I could see Marvel, the Star Wars comics right now are done by Marvel Comics.
Yeah, I could see.
So I could see a crossover in the comics, even though. But the thing is, Disney Lucasfilm has outwardly said that the comics are canon. The new books that come out from here on out are canon. So I guess you could easily just say, well, these are coming out, but that's not canon.
Yeah,
but it would be
because they would be, it would be an Avengers comic. It wouldn't be a Star Wars comic,
right?
But so that way it's not
canon. It wouldn't be canon in the Marvel universe either. It'd just be like a thing that happens.
It's like a one-off crossover. Here's a special issue.
Like Marvel back in the day, there was a whole 4-issue event where it was the X-Men meet Star Trek.
Yeah.
And like that didn't mean anything for either of those universes. It's just the thing that happened. And I mean, it's kind of funny. Like you have like Mr. Spock trying to Vulcan pinch Wolverine, and he just keeps regenerating, and like bullshit like that happens. But I mean, it's a joke. But Stan Lee, overall, I think it's just you know, love the guy, but he's just old. I don't think he actually knows anything that they're planning for that.
No, I don't think he is.
I mean, honestly, would you want to see it?
I would go see it. Would I want to see it?
How would that even
Probably not. Would I go see it? Yes.
Well, of course I'd go too, but it would be very confusing.
They'd have to have, like, the perfect angle for that.
Yeah. We'll see. Let us know in the comments. Would you want to see Star Wars and Marvel, and how would you make that work?
Yeah.
Because I have no idea. All right, last bit of movie news. We had a pretty big trailer drop just recently.
Yes.
DC Films had a 30-minute special on the CW the other night, hosted by Kevin Smith and Jeff Johns. And during it, they debuted a bunch of stuff about, it was basically like, Batman v Superman is coming out in a couple months, and get excited about it, and we're making Justice League movies now, so here's some footage from Wonder Woman, and here's the actors who are going to play Cyborg and Flash, and they're going to tell you about why they're excited about it. And all that was all fine. And then they ended the show with showing the first full trailer for Suicide Squad. So, your thoughts?
Well, let me start from the beginning of my Suicide Squad.
Yes, because
thoughts.
we definitely have different...
Yes.
Going into this, we had different thoughts.
I was really sick of hearing about the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
I liked the idea of it, but... And I wasn't, the tattoo photo came out of the Joker. That never really bothered me too much. Like, I had some issues with it, but I wasn't like, this is blasphemy, how can you... Like, I was never mad about that. But I was just so tired of every other day, here's a leaked photo of the suicide, here's this leaked image, here's this set image, I'm like, I don't care. Like, we're a year and a half away from this thing, I don't care anymore. And this trailer made me care again. It's really good.
Yep.
I mean, it's... And, like, I posted about it on Facebook, and a buddy of mine commented, and he was like, they're just tricking you. They've got Queen in the trailer. It's just kind of tricking you to make you think it's, this isn't going to be the tone of it. I'm like, I don't think that's the case. Like, I mean, yes, I like the fact that it had, Queen in the trailer, but I feel like that's got to be the tone that this kind of thing has.
Yeah. Definitely. I think if you have Harley Quinn and making jokes and stuff, like, I think it is going to be that kind of a tone. And I also think it is sort of like, it's a response to Guardians. Yes,
it definitely feels very Guardians trailer.
But at the same time, like, I've been excited about this movie since I heard about it. I was a big fan of the Suicide Squad comic.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of having a movie of just the villains. I've been open to the idea of a new interpretation of the Joker. It's really hard for anyone to follow what Heath Ledger did. But
yeah.
So to go in a drastically different version, that made sense to me. And David Ayer has done some good stuff and some bad stuff. He certainly, actually, later this week, you're going to be talking about a film that he famously wrote.
Yep.
But I love the trailer. I really like the teaser. I love the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks great. And I just hope that it does deliver, because we don't quite know. It could be a mess. It could be bad. But so far, I feel like they're nailing the marketing on this movie in a way that I don't feel like I still don't feel like they have on Batman v Superman.
Yes.
Even though I am excited for that movie.
I like the Batman v Superman trailer.
Me too.
But this is a different level of fun.
And I feel like I really like the teaser. I really like the stuff that they've officially put out. Did you see the poster that they put out?
Yeah, with all the skulls.
With all the skulls?
Yeah.
I mean, I made that my phone background, and it just, like, pops. They're doing a lot of good, right things, and that's exciting. And we'll find out in August.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
No.
All right, let's move on to our last bit of news for the week. The NX. There are some leaks about the new Nintendo system that came out. Rumors. Might not be true, not confirmed. But actually, a lot of stuff was rumored.
I just need to announce something soon.
They will, I think, especially if this stuff starts actually getting out. And they're going to want to kind of diffuse it. Because either it's true and they're just wanting to let people know, or it's not true but it's exciting, and they're going to want to not disappoint when it's not what people think it is. But anyway, the new Nintendo System NX. So some rumors came out. First of all, that it's going to be compatible or like work with smartphones, PCs, competing consoles. Be able to have stream video at 4K at 60 frames per second. Another part of the rumor was it's going to have a free online service, but also a subscription service for online that you can pay for with additional content.
And there's like an achievement system on there too?
Yep.
I think.
And then also a subscription service for streaming a backlog of video game titles that will start at 150 and build from there.
So 150 titles.
150 titles.
Not dollars.
No, not dollars. So, how about the first part?
Okay.
Working with smartphones, PCs, and competing consoles. What does that mean?
Well, partially sounds kind of what they've been going towards with, we're going to do mobile and we're going to have this sort of cross-platform ecosystem. It'll connect to your phone, and I imagine whatever the sites and stuff will connect with PC. They a couple directs ago, the last main direct, they announced that there was a Mario Maker website where you could go and connect there. So they're already starting to show these kind of branching paths, and like the Miitomo, like when that was announced to me, seemed like laying the groundwork for this cross-platform ecosystem.
Right.
So I can see it.
Consoles?
Well, that's what I'm not sure about.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, or because you have a browser on your console, you can technically have this website on your console.
So what is it going to be? Like a handheld, just truly a handheld thing and not a set-top thing at all? And they're making deals with like Xbox and PlayStation to like have an app that you can stream and play the thing on your TV. Like, what? I don't understand what that means.
No. Well, again, this is all rumor and speculation, and
sure.
Who knows?
And then the subscription service. What do you think of that?
That makes sense. I mean, it depends on what you have the subscription service for old games. That kind of makes sense depending on what games that there are. If it's like, okay, we've bought Mario on every virtual console that you've put out so far, and now I got to pay $10 a month to play that Mario game again whenever I want. Like that's going to have problems.
Right, but I mean, 150 to start. When you think about how many games they've put out in the history of Nintendo, that's not much.
Well, that's what I'm curious as to where or was it going to be?
But now say it's like
here's the GameCube library. Now you can stream the whole GameCube library.
Would you do it? Because
for a month, it's not something that I would get behind.
Exactly.
It's
really cool in principle, but you know how like even something like Netflix, you go on and there's a million things that you could choose from.
Yeah.
And you go through, and then you don't choose anything.
And next thing you know, it's an hour later, and I've just looked through and added some stuff.
That would absolutely happen with that. And then when are you going to have time to myself personally, there are people who would. Myself personally, I don't have time to pay to play a million old video games when there's still hundreds of new ones.
Well, it's the same reason I don't play like subscription-based MMOs and stuff like that. Is I don't have the time to constantly put that money into something that I'm not going to use.
Right.
So
it's a neat idea, and I feel like they will get people who are just like, this is awesome, and they'll get it, and they'll get those people who get it but never actually find the time to use it, but just get charged month after month.
Or you have, families and stuff who, every night, here's the game that, remember I played this when I was growing up, and now you can go through this old catalog of all these different games and stuff like that. But
and then if there's a free online service, but also a pay one.
It sounds like PSN and Xbox Live. Like there's a free online service and there's a pay.
So do you think the pay one you get like the same thing, a couple of free games?
That would be cool.
That would be great.
I would absolutely do that.
That's a great model for them to rip off.
Mm-hmm.
But
especially if they, do decent games and it's not. That was my one problem seeing kind of when Xbox started doing their games, is it was like, we're starting coming out with the Xbox One. Here's Halo 3 for your first free game, and everyone kind of went, what?
Yeah.
So I think that, if they get some indies and some, stuff built into that too, and
yeah. The biggest takeaway that I had over this news is something we kind of led off the news with. It's time for them to just start telling us, because
this rumor mill just keeps going, and it's now, who knows, it's gonna be competing hardware and industry-leading chips and this and that, and have it. Just tell it. If they're really gonna get this out by the end of the year, they need to start soon, because otherwise it's gonna come out and then it's out in 2 months, and then no one's gonna get it, except for the people who follow this stuff.
Us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, two sales right here. I don't know how many, if you aren't, keeping up with this, if you're just, average consumer or parent, and it's like, oh, there's a new one, I just gotta, is this the same thing? They name it.
Also, what's it gonna be called? Yeah.
An X. Keep it an X. Why not? They called the last one Wii U.
Not gonna happen.
Just keep moving letters. Wii X.
Or maybe, what's Wii backwards? Ew?
U.
Ew. Alright, they're not going to call it that, but they might.
The Nintendo U.
So, that's pretty much it for this week.
Really?
I wanted to find time to tell everybody about the new Medea movie that was announced today.
Well, there is one bit of news I'm kind of surprised you left off.
Really? What's that?
The new Abrams-produced trailer that we got.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Alright, let's talk about that.
Okay.
That feels like a week, like a while ago. Maybe that was the
Friday
day after we record.
I think it happened on Friday.
So, alright. Let's talk about that.
We got one more thing.
But wait, there's more.
Just
so
one
attached
more.
to the new Michael Bay joint, 13 Hours, was a secret trailer from J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot that turned out to be maybe a sequel to Cloverfield.
A blood relative, as Abrams has called it.
Called 10 Cloverfield Lane, directed by Dan Trachtenberg. What is your take on that?
I mean, I came in that day, and you were just like, did you see the trailer? And I was like, what trailer? It's like, no. And then did you see what got released? And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, okay, I'm just gonna show it to you. I'm like, well, is it this movie? Like, what are you showing me? He's like, I'm not gonna tell you. You're just gonna watch it. And I really it looked from start to finish. And the whole time I'm like, what the? And it just keeps going and going. Like it's such a perfect trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not a big fan of Cloverfield. So when as soon as that Cloverfield thing came up, I was kind of like, eh. And then the more that it was like, oh well, it's a blood relative. It's not really a direct sequel. It's kind of just in the same universe type thing. Is sort of what they were alluding to. It's like, okay, like the trailer still looks awesome.
Yeah. And
just came out of nowhere. And there's a possible reason for that, but I'll get to that in a moment if you want to share your thoughts on it too.
Yeah, I mean, well, see, it came out on Thursday night, so I had seen The Revenant.
Okay.
That Thursday night. I saw a late show, like a 10 o'clock showing. It's like a 3-hour movie. And I got out, and I got home, and right before bed, I hopped on Twitter, and people were tweeting about it. The link hadn't come out. People were like, there's apparently a Cloverfield 2 trailer attached to 13 Hours, and nobody knew this was going to happen, and what's going on, and we're like, it was just people I follow who were like, there's apparently a Cloverfield 2, and it comes out in March, and I was like, what? Then I woke up in the morning, and the trailer had been released officially, and I watched it, and I think it's a great trailer, and I enjoyed Cloverfield. I really liked it in the theater. I thought it was great when that teaser came out. It was a movie nobody knew was coming out. Exactly the same thing. And then I bought that movie, and I think I watched it once, but I was kind of like at home the second time. It just didn't have the same impact for me, and I was just kind of whatever on it. But I got excited. I think even less about it being a sequel or whatever to Cloverfield, but that it was a secret.
Yeah.
That it looked really good. But why don't you tell us the rest of the story?
So, this trailer comes out, everyone gets excited, and then over the weekend, I think it was, because I think I told you about it yesterday or the day before. So over the weekend, the story came out on Reddit somebody posted about this was actually, well, I don't know, nothing has been confirmed on this. Supposedly this guy has scripts and stuff like that to back it up. This was actually originally shot under like I can't remember what the name was called, but like the Paramount Indie like title. It was Paramount something, but it was like their indie movie label.
Paramount Vantage?
Something like that. That has since gone under. Like they discontinued it. It was a movie called The Cellar that they shot, completed, and then when the Paramount Indie one went away, they shelved it. And since then, one thing led to another, and they did some reshoots last year and turned it into a couple rewrites of some reshoots and twisted it into a Cloverfield sequel. Apparently this Reddit user, I don't remember the offhand, has scripts and stuff to back it up, things like that. It's like, oh yeah, it was called The Cellar, it had this in it, if you want to know the ending, here's a link to what the ending is going to be, here's a link to this information and that information, which would explain why this movie happened and nobody knew about it.
Right.
So that's... I don't know how I feel about that.
But it was like changed?
Yeah, I mean... There's a part of me that's like, oh, this is really cool. And I remember when I saw the trailer and then it was like, oh, Cloverfield 2, like that is like, I'd be interested to see whatever cut. This was a finished movie, supposedly, that was then potentially, yeah, supposedly, potentially. Nothing's been talked about, nothing's been confirmed. So I would be curious to see, compare the two cuts of it, assuming there are two cuts of it.
I mean, I feel like that would come out, if that's the case.
Yeah.
I guess my question would be, why would J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot just make a movie about John Goodman holding two people in a cellar? I don't know if he would.
We don't know that. I don't know if he was attached then.
No,
either.
I remember when Dan Trachtenberg was hired, because he's somebody I've been following for like years, because I used to love the Totally Rad show, which he was a host of, and he was hired on to make this movie, and it was a big deal with people who liked him, by Bad Robot by J.J. Abrams.
Okay.
And it was untitled. It was secretive. It was like Secret Bad Robot Project. And
when was that? When did that all come out?
It's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah, long enough that I forgot that it was happening until...
Long enough that this could be the timeline could fit.
Okay. They could have changed it, sure. But long enough that I had forgotten it was happening until he was at the Star Wars premiere, and I remembered, oh yeah, he's making a movie for Bad Robot, or is he still? And then a couple weeks later, the trailer comes out.
Gotcha.
So... But there have been many times in the past where projects were famously changed to something else. Like Die Hard with a Vengeance, a movie I love, was just a script that was going around Hollywood that was a good action script, and then they changed it to make it a Die Hard.
Well, sure.
Stuff like that.
But that is a movie that was just a script, and then they retooled the script.
Yeah.
Having a complete shot film and then doing reshoots is a little bit different.
It's different.
I mean, my concern is then how clunky will this thing have plot issues and be clunky because it's trying to shoehorn this extra thing into it, if that's not actually the case.
Yeah.
Or is The Cellar actually, yes, there was an alien and stuff in the original version of The Cellar, and now they've just twisted it to be the Cloverfield stuff. Or a monster, whatever, I don't even know what the hell it was.
Yeah, it's like big monster.
It's a monster alien, that's something.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
The thing is, we'll get to find out real soon. March 10th?
I think so. March 10th or 11th. Some were like early March.
Yeah, I think it's like a 2-week buffer before Batman vs. Superman. So...
Still a great trailer. Good. Yeah, I'm still excited.
It's a really good trailer. Alright, so... I would also say, have you seen John Goodman recently? He's lost like a shit ton of weight.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it was shot long enough ago that he wasn't going to lose all that weight.
So if there's scenes in the movie where he's really skinny and scenes where he's not, then we'll know.
Yeah. Alright, so that's this week's top news. Tell us what you think about all that stuff. Will there be a Star Wars Marvel movie? Did you like the Suicide Squad trailer? Are you excited about 10 Cloverfield Lane? Let
us know.
And you can let us know on Twitter. You can tweet at me. I'm at Stonks.
I'm at Rich Belson. The channel's at Twitter. On Twitter at OABeer_official. And you can email us at overabeerofficial@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook as well at facebook.com/overabeer. You can find us on YouTube by searching for Over a Beer. I don't have a YouTube URL yet because we don't have 100 subscribers yet. I believe we're at 32, I think, as of this recording.
Yep.
So, if you like our content, please share these videos with your friends and subscribe to our channel. It is greatly appreciated. I think that's going to do it for today. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.